Thrivers, good morning. Heather here. Feeling a little morning sick, but I really felt like I needed to let you guys know what an important week this is for me, as you are my High Thrive tribe. You're my family. A lot of you are new to the group, so welcome, but a lot of you have been following us for a really long time, and we've truly created some really great relationships. So this is a really big week for me, and I'm off for my very first midwife appointment as we're expecting baby number 8. So I'm really excited for that. I have to keep it short today. But this week is a monumental week for Ben and I and our family. It marks the 5-year anniversary of when I was diagnosed with breast cancer while I was pregnant with our 6th baby, our sweet little Kiri. And I just wanted to share this with you guys. This is me about 4.5 years ago, bald and pregnant, as I'm in the fight for my life. And I just wanted to talk about the messages that we hear from others and what we choose to listen to ourselves. So the very day that I was diagnosed, we went in and met with the surgeon in Durango. And he looked me in the eye and said, "Heather, your cancer is aggressive. It's hormone sensitive. And the hormones of the pregnancy that are feeding your baby are feeding the cancer. And if you don't abort your baby, you're risking your life." And I knew in my heart, it was never even a question for me, that I was going to keep my baby, because to me, life is sacred. It wasn't just a fetus, it was a little soul, and it was my child. And as this little person's mother, it was my duty to protect her and to do that at all costs, even if it meant risking my own life. And I was told by numerous other doctors as well that if I didn't abort the baby, that I was not going to make it. In fact, I was given a 6% chance of making it to this date, to 5 years being a cancer survivor of aggressive breast cancer. 6% chance. There was a 94% chance it was going to come back and that I would not be here today. But I never listened to those words. And even members of my own family cautioned me, and they said, "Heather, you need to be wise. You need to think about your 5 other children. You have so much you need to live for. And I know that you want to keep this baby, but it's not looking good. You need to make sure you're thinking about the 5 children that you do have and your husband, and make sure that you're around to raise them." And so I had these messages from people that I love deeply, and I know that they loved me deeply, but they did not support the decision that I made. And looking back now, not only on the past 5 years, but on other areas of my life, when people have told me that I can't do something or that something's impossible, it's impossible to build a business online. Well, you guys know here, the Thriving Marriage, we are one of the fastest growing online marriages resources out there, right? And we're making huge waves in the world. We're about to launch our first podcast this week and our goal is to reach millions. We want this to be an international movement to change the way that people think about their marriages, the way that they think about their relationships. And if people are telling you, you can't save your marriage, if they want out, it's too late. There's nothing you can do. It takes 2 to tango. If they don't have their commitment, then there's nothing that you can do. You just have to give up. And you have to move on, and you have to heal yourself, right? And we hear these messages sometimes. And I would just encourage you to sink into that inner being within you and into that quieter, deeper part of your soul, that you know what resonates with you and you know what you have to do. And it's going to look different for each of us, but we have to live true to that voice. And if it's saying, "I love this person," and yeah, it's not perfect. And yeah, we have a lot of work to do. And maybe they're in love with someone else, or they say, "I just don't love you anymore." Maybe they're pushing for divorce, or things are just really tense, or they're really cold between you. And it seems impossible. Change that in your mind and say, "I love this person." I'm listening to that inner voice that says, "I love this person. I want my children raised in a whole home. I want to have my family intact. I don't want to throw away 24, 25, 30 years of marriage, 12 years of marriage, 2 years of marriage." It doesn't matter what it is, right? But if your heart's calling you saying, "I need to give this everything that I can because it's worth it. Regardless of the outcome, I know this is something I have to do." I get that. I've been in your shoes. I've had the moment where I'm like, I have to do this. I have to do this, and I have to give it everything that I can. Because if I don't, then I'm not going to be living up to who I really am and to my true heart's desire, to what my soul is calling me to do. Life is really short, my friends, and we never know how much time we have. I think about that every day. Am I living in alignment with who I really want to be, the kind of person that I'm meant to be? And when I listen to those things, all of the distractions, all the things that don't really matter, they fade away, and it helps me get that clarity on what really matters most. And I want to do a check-in here. I shared with you, hey, Christina, and everyone else, Denise, good to see you, Eric, Joy, awesome, Martina. And so I shared with you the FEEL method, right? The FEEL method. And I want to check in and see how are you doing with that? The FEEL method, let's go through it real quick. FEEL, it's an acronym. FEEL, focus on what you want. I had to focus on what I want. I wanted more than my health, more than my pain, more than my sickness, more than my fear, more than my doubt, more than my despair, more than my grief, more than my anger, more than my frustration, more than my anxiety, right? I had to focus on what I wanted. Doesn't mean I didn't feel those things, because I did. I felt every single one of them, and I was pushed beyond my limits. But I had to focus on what I wanted, and what I wanted was to give me and my unborn baby the very best chance possible, and I would be willing to do anything to make that happen. And it pushed me beyond what I could ever imagine, and it allowed me to grow because of it. So focus on what you want. What is it that you really, really want? If you took the words, it's impossible, it's too hard, it's too late, if you took away all of the limitations, and there was a way that someone could just magically wave a wand and give you exactly what you wanted, what would it be? What would your heart really want? What do you truly desire? And I promise you that as you focus on that, remember the F, that's how you bring it about into reality. Excuse me. All right, so then that brings us to E. We have to educate ourselves. We need to learn from those who've gone before us. If we don't know how to do something, then find someone who's done it. Find an expert. Find those that have spent their lives dedicated to learning about that. If you don't have great communication skills with your husband or your wife, if you don't know how to set healthy boundaries and you feel walked on all the time, and you know things are completely out of whack, and that it's not a safe situation for you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, or for your spouse or for your children, then find someone that knows how to set healthy boundaries, right? If you don't know how to build connection when they say, I don't love you anymore, find someone who's done that, learn from them, gain from their experience, right? And Mark and I, that's exactly what we do here at the Thriving Marriage and our incredible coaches, is that we help you with exactly how to develop those skills. So you need to educate yourself. You need to learn what you don't know, because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same results. So if you want some different results, you're going to have to learn some new things. And it's okay to say, you know what? I didn't know. No one taught me this. I never learned it in school. There aren't great books on this. I mean, there's just not a lot of great information, and the information that is out there is ineffective, it's outdated, and it's confusing and contradictory. So I want the clear method. I want the clear ability to solve these problems, right? And so find people that have those skills and have gone through it before. They know what it takes. They've gone through that challenge. Like for me, being able to find Dr. Borges, one of the top 5 experts in the world, who happened to live just 7 hours from me here in Colorado. And then she told me, you know, Heather, I know that this is scary for you, but for me, it's just another Tuesday. It's just another Tuesday. I'm just doing my job. I save lives every day. It's just what I do, you know? And at first that was like really jarring to me. I was like, oh, wow, you know, like, okay, it's just Tuesday to you. And I'm like on the verge of like total collapse here. But that's what it's like for Mark and I. It's just another Tuesday, you know? Is today Tuesday? No, today's Wednesday. So it's just another Wednesday. It's summertime and I've got pregnancy brain. But for us, it's just another Wednesday. We know how to navigate these challenges. We've helped so many thousands of couples like you do exactly that. So if you're hearing voices that say you can't do it, do not listen to them. Educate yourself from the people that know exactly what it takes to get there. If you haven't had a free breakthrough call with us yet, we have some awesome new programs and some new payment structures, all of these things making it a perfect fit for you. So I really encourage you, if you haven't had a breakthrough session with us yet, or if it's been a while and you're realizing, you know, I really do need this coaching. I really do need an individual guided approach to help me navigate those challenges, just like I needed the world's best oncologist to help me save my life, because it was too important to risk. It was too important to try to do it myself. It was too important to, to put my life into the hands of someone other than the very best. And so I knew I needed to do that, and I needed to trust them, and I needed to follow them and do that. Brings us to E, which is execute. So if you haven't had a breakthrough session with us and you want to learn how to move forward and what the next best steps for you are, then apply for a breakthrough call with us. And you can do that over at highthrivecoaching.com/apply. That's my little plug there. But above all, educate yourself. Find someone who's gone through it. Trust in them. Allow them to be your mentor. Allow them to be your guide and your support. They will show you insights and things that you will not be able to see on your own, and you won't feel alone. So really educate yourself. And then that brings us to E, that I alluded to, which is to execute. You have to do what they say. You have to trust them. You have to be willing to take those leaps of faith, right? Those leaps of faith into the darkness, and you have to do what they say. Right? I mentioned if we don't do new things, then we keep getting the same results. So we have to start to execute on the information. We can't just have information. We need to have transformation. And that only happens in the doing. And then that brings us to L, which is to learn. Learn from it. Allow yourself to make mistakes. As you learn these new skills, you're not going to do them right the first time, the 20th time, the 100th time, maybe not even the 1,000th time. But be willing to fail and to learn and to say, what can I do better? And to get the feedback and the guidance again from someone that says, in this conversation, maybe you could have done it like this. Maybe you could have said it like that. And be able to guide you through those things, and setting healthy boundaries, restoring trust, opening up communication, slowing down, stopping the process of divorce, all of those things that we teach here in our PATH method at High Thrive Coaching. So learn from your mistakes and don't allow your failures to stop you. Allow them to move you forward so that you can progress and become an even better version of yourself. And as you do that, you will live with confidence, calmness, inner peace, and strength that you maybe have never experienced before. I know that that's what it's been like in my personal journey, and I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to share that with you today. My heart is full of gratitude. I am so full of gratitude to be here in this life and being able to raise my incredible children. And for my amazing husband, you can see in the book, I said, I don't know, it's so bright you can't really see. For Ben, the love of my life now and forever. We've had some really hard times, but those hard times of what have blessed our lives because we grew through them. We learned from them, and we allowed them to make us even better. I learned new skills I didn't have, and I continued in that process. So I taught you how to feel today. Now go feel. All right. I appreciate you, and my heart, my love, my gratitude goes out to you. This life is beautiful. It is a precious, precious gift. So let's listen to that inner being and follow that voice that says, I need to do this for myself, for my family. I need to give it everything I've got because it matters. All right. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon.